So Apple just announced the brand new latest Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, I've been a pretty big fan of my original Apple Watch Ultra, but I guess the real question is, did anything really change? So let's hop over to the website and let's check out all of the new specs and the features of the latest Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, I think this is going to be a much shorter video than the iPhone 15 Pro Max because while yes, everybody was angry in the comments that nothing had really changed, there were some changes there. I don't know that there's as many changes here. The main thing from watching their press event is really you're getting the new S9 processor, like their new S9 system. We'll go through here, but I don't know that you're going to see a whole lot different from the Apple Watch Ultra 1. New guts, more glory. So it is exactly the same design, exactly the same case, exactly the same, almost, I don't want to say everything, but exactly the same stuff year over year. So you'll still get the 49mm titanium case, water resistance, tested to mil standard, blah, blah, blah. And then IP6X dust resistance, which means ingress protection 6 for the dust and particulates. X would be the water, but we already talked about water resistance. The biggest change I think you're going to see from the display is still amazing. Like, I love the display on my Apple Watch Ultra, but it looks like it will now go to 3000 nits of max brightness when you're outdoors, and it will go down to 1 nit if you're in like your bedroom and no light. That is great. I like seeing numbers go up on a bar chart, whether that be performance or brightness metrics, but I've run hundreds of miles with my watch, and I've hiked and been out in the backcountry about another 100 miles with this thing. I don't know that I've ever had a problem with the brightness. This display is really good in a lot of very diverse situations. You do get a new watch face. Ooh, we'll see if the new watch face comes to the original one. Ready for action, you still get the action button, which we'll see here. You'll still get precision GPS antenna, speakers. If you had just put this in front of me, like, let's say a week ago and said, hey, this is the spec sheet for the Apple Watch Ultra 1, I would have probably said, yeah, I know. That's what I'm used to having that. That's the watch that I bought last year, right? Powered by the all-new S9 SIP with a dual-core CPU, 60% more transistors in your watch. Hooray. I think the real big differences and the real big updates you'll see because of the new processor is this ability to is this double tap ability that Apple was talking a lot about for answering calls, doing actions on the watch. But if you saw a video of mine from what I think it was like a year ago where we talked about accessibility options inside the watch, you've always been able to do this. So maybe it'll be more accurate, maybe it'll be a little easier to use, but I was not all that impressed during Apple's presentation about this double tap because it was already there. Like, it's a thing that they already had that now they've just moved out of accessibility, and I guess they're moving it into like the standard settings. So that's like my son trying to turn in extra credit at school, but it's on work that he already did. Precision finding for your iPhone, I mean, that sounds cool, but my precision finding is I make it make the noise, and then I go hunt for it. I have an upstairs, a ground floor, and then a basement in my house. If my phone is upstairs, is it going to direct me upstairs, or am I still just going to have to listen for it? Respond to, yeah, we already talked about the double tap. Carbon neutral, that is important. I am glad to see that they're moving the production of all their things to a more environmentally sustainable model. That is good. I haven't trained for a triathlon in a few years, so I don't have a power meter on my bike right now. But if you do have the ability with the new watch to connect to accessories like that, that's pretty cool. But I would imagine you'd be able to do both. We'll have to see again when we get it. I do like the thought of heart rate zones and multi-sport workouts. When I'm training for races, I like to train in heart rate zones and not necessarily just speeds or times. Running metrics that go the extra mile, hey, give me more metrics. I like more metrics. Trail loop, yes, the trail loop is the best watch band. This is the best watch band ever made. Only get the trail loop unless you specifically need the diving loop, or I guess you're a mountaineer and you need the alpine loop. The trail loop is the best watch band ever made. Fight me. Peak performance adventure, yeah, go adventuring with it. The compass reimagined, okay, built for the backcountry. I don't use Apple's app for backcountry travel anyway. I use All Trails, which works perfectly fine. If I need a little bit more information, I'm going to pull out my phone. Yes, you can see all the elevation lines here. Fun fact, the closer those lines are together, the steeper the incline. There's your orienteering lesson for the day. I don't know that I'm going to try to navigate off of my watch. I'm going to need a little bit bigger thing than that, but hey, it's great that it's there. All of that aside, we're 8 minutes in of just me pontificating about little features that I use in my existing watch. There's really almost nothing new this year about the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So let's check the pricing, the ordering information. It still comes in at $799, which is an expensive watch. But for what you get, it's actually not bad compared to other like dive watches or other adventure watches, right? It is expensive if you're just looking for a $5 Casio to check the time. but for these kind of functionalities, it's not that bad. The Alpine Loop and the Trail Loop are carbon neutral. I believe I got the orange and beige when I ordered yesterday because that looks so good. And then the Ocean Band, I guess somebody's gonna like it. Trade-in, no trade-in. You can get up to $300 credit trade-in towards your new Apple Watch. I don't like that they cap the trade-in values, right? Like, hey, just if I want to trade stuff in, let me trade it in, right? Buy or finance, $7.99, blah, blah, blah. So would I recommend you go out and get the Apple Watch Ultra 2? Probably not. Hey, here, let's really quickly. So you can get the Apple Watch Ultra for not much less. Here's a renewed one for $676, which is, you know, about $130 off. So I would say get a renewed original Apple Watch Ultra. You're not getting that much different year over year. It is a great watch. I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite Apple Watch of all time, but I just don't know that there's enough there to upgrade year over year. And if you are going straight to a Apple Watch Ultra for the first time, I'd say get a used or older model of the original. But when the one I purchased comes in, we'll talk about it a little more. And let me know what you'd like to see out of that in the comments below. And if you like this video and you want to see my thoughts on the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max, click right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.